The Supreme Court verdict on the lingering political crisis in Rivers State between Wike and his group, the 27 lawmakers loyal to him, and the governor, Fubara, and 3 lawmakers that are loyal to him. Although the Supreme Court is yet to decide on the legitimacy of the 27 lawmakers, they reserve judgment on this important one, but the one where they ordered the central bank to stop federal allocations to Rivers State is tantamount to removing Rivers State from Nigeria. Yes, there is no way the Supreme Court can deny Rivers State their federal allocations. It's not possible. When a lower court made this same order, the appeal court reversed that order, and no one expected the Supreme Court would toe the same path. Rivers State is a component of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. They are a subnational, and there is no way they can be denied their federal allocations. Even the federal government did not obey that order when the lower court made it, because they know that denying Rivers State their federal allocations means that Rivers State is no longer part of Nigeria. Before any state can be denied their federal allocations, it means that the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria must be amended. Yes, everything is written inside the Constitution. Every state must receive their federal allocations, including local government areas. If you deny them their allocations, you have declared war on them, and you are effectively saying that they are no longer a part of Nigeria. Because this is their right. You must give them that right, which binds all states, all subnationals in the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So this is an order made in bad faith and should never be obeyed by the Central Bank, the Federal Allocations Committee, including the executive branch, because they know the implications. They know that no one, no matter what they did, can result to the denial of federal allocations. It's like starving people. They are trying to starve Rivers State people, because most of them, especially workers, depend on the federal allocations for their salaries. How can Supreme Court justices sit and order a collective punishment on the Rivers people? Yes, that's what it means. The political crisis is between Fubara and his group on one hand, the other hand, Wike and his group. So now, what the Supreme Court justices are saying is that entire Rivers State people must suffer because Fubara refused to bow to Wike. This has gone to another level. Well, this is not surprising one bit. In 2023 Presidential Election Tribunal, the Supreme Court reversed themselves on past precedents they set. They reversed themselves on all the judgments they've delivered in the past. So it's not surprising. They did it for one man. They denied evidence that would have altered their decision. They had the audacity to justify it to Nigerians. So one would have expected that by now they would have understood the importance of rule of law, to understand that Nigerians have lost hope in the judicial system. So instead of doing things and delivering judgments that would at least align with the public opinion, there's what is called court of public opinion. Instead of doing that, and even when there is overwhelming evidence to the contrary, they still deliver whatever they want to deliver because they feel since they are the final court, no one can do anything. This is beyond ridiculous. Nigerians are still suffering from what they did in 2023. If the Supreme Court justices and other judicial officers didn't reverse themselves in all the judgments they made in the past, maybe Tinubu wouldn't be in power today. Yes, if they didn't reverse themselves in all the judgments that would have disqualified him or at least ensured that the right winner was declared, he wouldn't have been in power today. So that means these justices are behind it. They have a hand in enabling him and helping him to power. They need to understand that judicial meddling in political affairs must be curtailed. For our democracy to survive, they don't need to be involving themselves in everything. There are certain litigations they must strike off and say, go and follow the rules. There are existing rules on how to handle this. But because of one man who has refused to leave power in Rivers State, he feels he's still the governor. Look around Nigeria. There is no former governor that is still dragging the seat of power in his state. Just look around everywhere. Only this man. He keeps granting interviews, he will invite the press and be blabbing for 1 hour just because he wants to control the Rivers State Treasury.
The Supreme Court has made it very clear that you cannot have a democracy without a legislature. The Supreme Court has made it clear, cannot say that the government without the legislature. It is unheard of. where anybody will say 3 people will constitute an assembly to make law for the entire state. It's unheard of. It has nothing to do with an individual, whether you like this person's face or not. But what is important that can 3 people make law for a state? Not to talk about appropriation. The Federal High Court said, you can't do this. You cannot do it. And therefore, set aside everything they've done. 3 people who screen commissioners, 3 people, all kinds of things.
There's literally nothing that Wike says today or supports today that when you look back in history, you will not see where he has opposed the same thing. He's living in another planet. When he says something, he forgets it the next minute. Wike in 2016 presented the state budget to 6 House of Assembly members, or was it 7? The appeal court sacked 20 Rivers State House of Assembly members, and he had to work with the remaining members. They passed budget, approved many things for him, even political appointments. But now he's saying that Rivers State Governor Fubara should not have worked or continue working with the remaining House members who have remained in their party, who never decamped. Yes, they are making decampment a normal issue when the law is very clear. If anyone decamps from his party to another party, he must lose his seat. Wike was against this. Let's look at what he said against people who decamp from the party they were elected on to another party.
To make a pronouncement. So everybody will have to be careful. You give somebody an umbrella, the next day he defects. EFCC will come, he said, no, let me join them, so EFCC will not be against you. You carry the vote of another party, and you join another party. Can you transfer vote? You work hard for somebody to win the election. Tomorrow the person says, no, I have defected. If you are defecting, leave the seat. If you know it is easy.
Today, because Wike is at the receiving end, he's no longer against people decamping from the party they were elected on to another party. As a matter of fact, he was the one that advised his loyalists to decamp to APC. He made that error. That's why, after all they did, they decamped on national television. There was nothing they didn't say to justify the fact that PDP was in crisis. They went as far as swearing to affidavits in court, justifying why they decamped to APC. But today they are claiming they never decamped. The other court sided with them, saying that once they were not registered at the ward level or something like that, that they haven't decamped, that they only decamped on paper. All these, they are fishing for technicalities to exonerate them from the error they committed. So let's all wait to see what the Supreme Court will conjure, because it has reached to that level. They are no longer ashamed, unlike 20 years ago when justices were proud to be called justices, when lawyers tremble in front of justices because they know that they are honorable justices, unlike today where we have dishonorables who are calling themselves honorable justices. It's beyond words what these justices do. They are so shameless. Imagine a judge accepting that someone forged a certificate, which is already in breach of the law. But now, because he wants to exonerate the person, he said, despite the fact that he forged the certificate, but the certificate is not a requirement to contest the governorship election. Can you imagine? What example are these people leaving for young Nigerians? It means that if you are excellent, you are law-abiding, you will never succeed in Nigeria. You must be a forger, you must be a criminal, you must be dubious before you survive in Nigeria. They are literally affirming that Nigeria is a lawless place. When people criticize them, instead of learning from it and correcting their mistakes, they will turn around and accuse their critics of demarketing Nigeria. Can you imagine? People who affirm illegalities as legal, they don't demarket Nigeria. It is the people who criticize them that are demarketing Nigeria. These people have no shame. Anyway, let's watch out how the executive branch will react to the Supreme Court judgment that stopped federal allocations to Rivers State. Also, on what the decision of the Supreme Court will be on the fate of the 27 lawmakers who decamped to APC. Thanks for watching.